Why was to all my gamers and gamettes? This your boy Kano, the brutally honest gamer, and I'm back with another video. So before I even get to today's video, man, let me go ahead and address a little bit of the elephant in the room right now. You feel me? So this is to all the haters that was knocking me about the Assassin's Creed Valhalla game and the misconception of the last video, right? Now, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is not a bad game. It's actually a great game. It had a lot of kinks and bugs that they need to iron out, which they still do. But the situation I was dealing with was playing the game froze on me. Then I lost all my files when I loaded it back up, but I had to reinstall it a few times before I was able to get my files back. But I ended up beating the game, so there it is. You feel me? I finished the game. I'm done, finito. Great game, great ending. Love the game. You dig? So let's go ahead and dive into what this video is pertaining to be at this point. When it comes down to Ubisoft, and what I've noticed about Ubisoft is we've been seeing more delays than we ever have been. You know, mostly due to the pandemic, which is actually understandable. A delayed game is better than being canceled at all, but basically practically all the announced games that Ubisoft has announced has been delayed at this point. You know, like the Riders Republic game, the Far Cry 6 game, the Prince of Persia game. Is there any games that I see that's going to be delayed next? We still don't know when we're going to see that Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Quarantine game. Where the hell is Rainbow Six? Not Rainbow Six. Where the hell is Splinter Cell? People been asking about it. We've been seeing Sam Fisher on other parts of different games, but not actually have its own game. And we haven't seen a Splinter Cell game since Blacklist. Matter of fact, we haven't seen any more trailers or gameplay to Beyond Good and Evil 2. Matter of fact, and it just question the motives is what's going on with Ubisoft as a whole. And I'm gonna say this again. I understand that there's some things that's going on with the pandemic and the games being delayed and don't have a release date. But my gripe about Ubisoft is when y'all do release these games and have been releasing these games as of late, what is the logic of it actually being a fully perfect running game without it being buggy or going out like Cyberpunk 2077 at this point? And what I'm pertaining to it being delayed and going through a lot of development hell right now, which I'm pertaining to Beyond Good and Evil 2. Beyond Good and Evil 2 to where I see that there's actually development hell going on with this game. Now remember when it came down to Beyond Good and Evil 2, when we saw it back, I believe 2008, 2009, where we seen a couple of trailers, and then we haven't heard anything since. When they announced it, brought it up about what 2017, 2018, and last trailer we found out Jade, she's the antagonist on this one. I believe that this might be the prequel. I have no idea. But my thing with Ubisoft and my gripe about Ubisoft is they actually are a great publishing company. They got great developing companies within it with the Ubisoft Montreal, Quebec, and all that. That's cool. You know, my thing is when it comes to Ubisoft is they need to expand their teams even more to create other games and bring back a lot of different franchises, because Ubisoft has so many franchises under their belt at this point that it's becoming unbearable to the point where, what's the word I'm looking for? It's unbearable to the point where we getting a cycle of almost the same games in a sense. We've been getting all the Assassin's Creeds, the Far Cry's, you feel me? Even I don't even like the Crew. I think the Crew 2 and the Crew is garbage. The drifting cycle is terrible within that games of the racing. They should not do any racing games as far as in that cycle. And I'm just speaking real about that. The Crew 1, 2, only thing good about both of them is it is graphically impressive. And I always say this, if a game actually has some great graphics but has trash gameplay and a trash story, it's still a trash game. It don't matter how good the graphics look. If they don't have all three stirring in the pot, it's a trash game. Now, when it comes down to Prince of Persia, the remake, I understand why people got angry with it, because people want graphics. They don't care about the story. They don't care about the gameplay. They care about graphics. I understand why, but it's really, I love the gameplay and I love the story. People want more of that realistic Sands of Time. I mean, not Sands of the Forgotten Sands game that we had, because it had more of a realistic nature. That's what people want. But people fail to realize is Prince of Persia always had that cartoon vibe with it. It was like that with Prince of Persia Sands of Time. The second one and third one that was on the PlayStation 2, original Xbox and all that. So people gotta understand that. Now back to what I'm saying about Ubisoft is, it's good that they're delaying their games, but don't push out games where it still have that bugs within it and the kinks that they still need to work out. Because I know we get day one patches, but they still need to make sure they have a great amount of stability within the game where it's playable. So when I play Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I was going through screen tears. I was going through corrupted save files to the point where I lost all my save files. When I would play Immortal Phoenix Rising, there was a little bit of scrutiny with the graphics of it screen tearing. And then I'm currently playing Watch Dogs Legions, and so far Watch Dogs Legions, I haven't seen too much trouble with it. It's actually a good game. But Ubisoft, they're a phenomenal company. I think they make some great innovative games, but they definitely gonna have to do better in putting stability, putting improvements within the game so it won't be buggy and it won't have these screen tear issues on these next gen hardware. You feel what I'm saying? I understand we just started this next gen cycle, but Ubisoft gonna have to come correct for the next 7 to 9 years. I'm about to say 7 to 10, but 7 to 9 years of this next gen cycle. You feel me? Including with the cloud services, and then I believe after 2021, we won't see any more past generation games. And also on the Nintendo side, I think Ubisoft need to work with Nintendo a little bit more to put games in that nature for Nintendo too. Not just on the next gen consoles of the PS5s and the Xbox Series, but on the Nintendo Switch, because it still got legs to stand on. The Nintendo Switch is still a phenomenal console too, hybrid console at that. So that's all I really gotta say, man. I'm gonna leave it on that note. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell when you see these videos and stuff like that. And also, man, comment below, for real though. Like, man, what do y'all want to see from Ubisoft? Do y'all want to see the Splinter Cells come back? Do y'all want to see better Ghost Recon games? Because Breakpoint was trash. Hopefully the Division 3 will be up the ante a little bit. But comment below, what games do y'all want to see from Ubisoft to be better with innovation and motivation and stability, story, graphics, all that, man? What do y'all want to see from Ubisoft? You feel me? I'm gonna leave it on that note. I'm out. Peace.